to all of us as the fanfare is being played.
The 2010 Constitution ushered in a new dispensation in Kenya's constitutional, social, political, and economic order. 3 years later, there have been some obvious gains, but threats abound. Topping the list of threats to the fabric of the Constitution is the current clamor for referendum on devolution that is anchored on Chapter 11 of the Constitution that provides for county governments, the governors, and the devolution process. The governors lately engaging the government in a back and forth in an increasingly bitter debate on devolution.
Sasa tulipovaa vyetu hizi tukaanza kutembea nao, baada ya hatua mbili peke yake tukasikia kama inafinya, na pale inafinya inaitwa ugatuzi.
Hata hii katiba ikibadilishwa mara 100, ule jamaa hawezi kutushinda.
That is all the more reason we must now go to law. We must go for the referendum because we are being told to wait. You know another reason we are being given? We have given you that much. Let's see how you use it, and then we see whether we can increase. Correct.
Certain political quarters pick certain aspects of the Constitution, whether in letter or certain principles, and try to use arguments that would, in effect, make their actions or misactions relevant within the context of the Constitution. I think that's one thing that Kenyans should be alive to.
The new constitution also entrenched the doctrine of separation of powers between the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. But there are concerns that this has created a monster parliament and a headstrong judiciary. Even in parliament, vital energies are being squandered in power plays between the Senate and the National Assembly. So is there an upper and lower house, as it were, and who is superior to the other?
The fact that none is described as upper or lower is also very deliberate, because from the functions you can outrightly see what each institution ought to be doing. And there is no an upperness, if I may use the term, or a lowerness in those functions and responsibilities.
The new constitution also created independent institutions that would provide checks and balances, like the Salaries and Remuneration Commission. But the appetite for public funds that the Sarem Commission was meant to tame could be let loose again if members of parliament succeed to remove themselves, as they are planning to do, from its control.
If there are thieves, it is the Kenyan people who are thieves.
It's like she's trying to kill us, Mr. Speaker.
It's actually belittling the state of the Constitution when leadership does not follow the spirit or letter of the Constitution. Eventually, in the minds of many, then the Constitution becomes like just any other document, just like any other policy that Kenyans have passed and sits on the shelves or tables of different leadership.
One of the heralds of the Constitution was Chapter 6 on leadership and integrity, and that was meant to inject integrity and competitiveness in public appointees. Though a lot of appointments have been made in this regard, recent vetting, especially by Parliament, has been at best a sham, a circus where the tyranny of numbers has more or less meant any choice of the President and his team goes regardless of the objections raised.
You can have the Constitution, but not have constitutionalism.
Now, these are just some of the changes the Constitution made, and Kenyans haven't gone to the polls on March 4th this year, the first election under the new Constitution for 6 elective posts, including that of the Deputy President, who was elected by virtue of the President, a departure from the past. Now, it will be interesting to see just how all other implementation pieces fall into place as the letter and spirit of the Constitution is upheld. Willis Raburu, Citizen Live at 9, Nairobi.